with y'all? What's good? What's good? Now I want to come on here real quick, and I just want to talk about some of the most important and pivotal lessons that I learned throughout the course of February 2023. Now, don't mind my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather as far as my congestion and things like that. Anyway, the show must go on. Now, for me, February of 2023 has served to be a very, I'll say, revealing month for me, okay? This month for me has showed me a lot as far as myself and just knowing my place in this world. And that's a segue to the first thing that I really experienced and learned throughout 2023, February 2023, and that's to know your place. Me and my friend Kenneth, which I know you watch my videos, so it's good, bro. Me and my friend Kenneth, we went out the other day and we was having a very intellectual conversation, and one of the most pivotal things that he brought up was knowing your place. Okay, we went on to talk about trauma, and we went on to talk about our experiences being little boys, growing up into, young men and things like that. We were talking about our experiences, and he was talking about knowing your place and just evaluating where you are in relation to the rest of the world. It's very important that we differentiate what is being fortunate and being privileged. Okay, I wouldn't say I'm privileged, not by any stretch of the imagination. I would say that I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I am. Could I have it better? Yes. Could I have it worse? Yes. Do I come from a quote-unquote broken home? Yes, you could say that. But ultimately, I'm very privileged, or I'm very fortunate to be where I am, seeing as how many other people have had it much worse than me. And it's very important that we identify what it means to be privileged and what it means to be fortunate. Sometimes I'll be feeling quite negative, if you will, and I'll think to myself like, damn, am I really privileged? Oh yeah, I'm privileged. I shouldn't have an opinion. I shouldn't have a this or that because I'm privileged. But you have to realize that there's a difference between being privileged and fortunate. And just because you're in a specific position in your life does not mean you use that as a crutch in order to get behind or get forward in life. You use the resources that you have available on the table and you move accordingly. Some people are just dealt a better deck of cards. Does that mean that you have to necessarily work harder if you've been dealt a worse deck? No, that just means you work differently. You don't work harder, you work different. Look, I may not have this, or I may not have that, I may not have that, but what I do have is this, and this. And with these things that I do have within my arsenal, within my skill set, my tool set, my toolbox, I'm going to use that to propel myself in the direction of success. Now, the next thing that I learned throughout February 2023 was to have fun, okay? Have fun, and even if something doesn't feel right necessarily, do it any fucking way. Now, obviously, don't take that out of context, but what I'm saying is, what people deem as low vibrational, you have to realize that what is high and low vibrational is completely subjective. What's high vibrational to you may not be high vibrational to me, okay? Someone eating vegan foods, eating Beyond Meat burgers, and eating this, and this, and that, right? That may be their high vibrational, but to me, that may be my low vibrational. So it doesn't matter what's high vibrational or low vibrational. It's about where you are in relation to the rest of your world and your fucking existence. And I said all this to say that, throughout my years finding out and just learning about what spirituality is, many people talk about how clubbing and partying is negative or low vibrational. And I would agree with this to an extent. But when I finally did it for the first time, I had a blast, okay? Now, if you follow my TikTok, you would know that I had my senior dinner. And my senior dinner, which took place in February of the same month, was, oh my God, one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, ever. And I say that shit with no exaggeration at all. My senior dinner proved to me to be very transformational, because this really showed me how much of an authentic being I am, and especially coming from somebody who for their whole entire life up until about 16 years old was insecure, to be able to just get sturdy to Dior by Pop Smoke, or just being the light in the room of everybody who was in the room, that served to be such a pivotal moment for me, and I had such a great time, and words can't quantify how much of a great experience it was. And I said all this to say that even if there's something that may not be high vibrational, you should do it anyway. Again, don't take that out of context, but it's very important to have fun. You are a being that was put in this life to experience, not get caught up in the experience. This life is about balance. You can balance the good from the bad. You can put these two energies together to create divinity. You can have a great time experiencing the bad, but you can also have a great time experiencing the good. And it doesn't matter what's good or bad. It's all just subjective at the end of the day. Do what makes you feel happy, but not at the extent of your purpose or your success. Another really important thing that I learned throughout February was let go of the perception and the idea of specific people, places, and things. Okay? The problem with people in this life is that we love the idea of doing and getting better as opposed to actually just taking the plunge and getting better. It is so much easier to believe in an idea as opposed to actually see an idea. And through our perception of people, we tend to hurt ourselves, okay? It's very easy to fall in love with the idea of a person as opposed to actually falling in love with the reality of a person. Self-love is putting yourself in a position to not be hurt by anybody, and that includes yourself. Because more often than not, our self-limiting belief systems and our habitual thinking patterns can hurt us way more in the long term. And for me specifically, I'll just say that I fell in love with the idea of people, okay? I really realized that sometimes it's okay to surrender and just let the universe, let God just take the wheel. Allow your body to be an instrument of the divine. And don't fall in love with your perception of people. Fall in love with the reality of what is so that we can make a better future, which then will be the present moment. And that's another thing that I learned. Closure is very important to gain closure from yourself. Don't look for closure for anything. Don't look for anyone to give you closure that you know you need to give yourself. Okay, it's called closure for a reason. Nobody's gonna close that chapter of your book other than you. Again, self-love is not putting yourself in a position to be hurt by anybody else. People, situations, and places, as I said in my TikTok and my YouTube short, people, situations, and places can prove you wrong, can do you wrong. But at the end of the day, are you willing to do yourself right? Don't look for validation. Don't look for closure out of anybody else other than yourself, because at the end of the day, you are your greatest ally as well as asset. Give yourself that love and know confidently, strongly, and affirm it with conviction that better people are coming your way. Good things happen to people who wait and manifest. The second to last thing that was very pivotal for February this month, or last month at this point, was don't take people too seriously. Okay, it's very important that you don't take people too seriously, especially if they're not putting their energy into you. Where attention goes, energy flows, results show. It's very important that you give your effort, your energy, and your attention to the people who most deserve it. Don't waste your time giving people your energy who don't fucking deserve it, who aren't taking you and your lifestyle seriously. Okay, when things don't work out, that's because God is protecting you. Okay, let me say that one more time. When things don't work out, that means God or the universe is protecting you, okay? Me personally, right, I'm a very extroverted person. I'm a person who likes to make connections. And I think that with every single person comes one new thing that can be learned from each and every person that steps foot into my life, okay? But if the people who I'm trying to allow into my life aren't taking me seriously or taking themselves seriously, most importantly, then I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you or trying to pour into your cup when you can't even pour into yourself. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and it's a waste of healing. Do us both the favor and spare yourself the healing and spare myself the healing, and we'll both be better off. Don't waste my time. And the last thing, and in my opinion, the most important thing that I learned throughout February of 2023 is that it is so important, it is very imperative that you be the more established person. Not necessarily the bigger person, but the more established person. Being established comes with, spiritual authority, comes with mental, physical, and emotional authority over yourself, knowing that you can't control how other people view themselves, but you can control how you sway the narrative of a specific situation. It's not about what they do, it's about how you react to it that makes you powerful, that makes you a king or queen. Sometimes as a godlike being, sometimes as someone who is very established, who has authority over their own mind, it is very important that you swallow your own pride for the sake of a situation. Even if it feels like you have every reason to be right, you have every reason to be mad, and I bet you do, but sometimes you have to swallow your pride and just take your W's in silence. Even if you know you have every single reason to be mad at somebody, even if you know that you shouldn't be talking to them, swallow your pride and just allow yourself to go within. Taking the path of least resistance is going within. And when you allow yourself to swallow your pride and assert your kingdom on the world, There's nothing that can stop you. But with that being said, I love myself through you. We're going to rock out. Have a beautiful, blessed, productive, and successful day. And remember, the goal of life is not to be infinitely great. It's to be greater than infinity. Peace.